Breaking the law. The trains in North America are proud of being healthy and strong. They like to pull passenger cars and freight cars while they get their work done. Conrail does a good job in North America by pulling freight cars with CSX, and all the engines that pass like to whistle high while they pass by. One day, Delphine was delivering pipes to St. Nicholas for the plumbers to fix a leak in the bathroom. Delphine was really helpful by delivering the pipes. She arrived in the yard just in time, with all the heavy pipes. "I'm not late today," said Delphine. "I'm just in time." Just then, Percy steamed into the yard to collect the flatbeds. He had bad news for Delphine. "Bleemsic is a brand new evil engine," Percy said, "and she's not friendly. She's an evil locomotive," he said. "Evil locomotive?" said Delphine. She was shocked. "Yes," wished Percy. "She's not a friendly engine at all. She stole freight cars this morning." Meanwhile, Henry was taking his passenger train into the station. He was really friendly. He pulled in just in time. "I don't want to be late," Henry said. Then there was trouble. Bleemsic was in the back. "Feels good to steal money from stores." Henry was surprised to see her. "She doesn't sound very nice," said Henry. "She's mean." Henry was annoyed by the evil engine. The evil bomber was on board too. "I'm gonna steal headstones later today, and I'm gonna steal money." And he went into the passenger car and stole suitcases from the coaches. And then he ran into the store, stole 3 items without paying, and he threw chairs at windows and broke them. And then he jumped on someone's car. "Hey! Don't do that!" yelled the person. And Bleemsic sped off. The freight cars were filled with poisonous materials as the train carried on. Then Delphine saw the evil locomotive speeding along. "That's a monster engine!" Bleemsic sped by. She was very cross. She soon arrived in the Midwest to collect the headstones. She pulled up feeling super cross. It's time for me to deliver headstones from the graveyard! Ha 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 ha! Evil Bomber walked over to the graveyard to pick up the headstones. He was super duper cross. Then he walked in and he pushed one over, then another one, and then he picked them up with the dozer, and then he put them in the baggage cars, and they were full of headstones, and he took the bodies out from the ground. And he was being really hurtful. The baggage car was soon loaded, and Evil Bleemzik was not an appropriate engine at all. Inappropriate Bleemzik left the graveyard as she was making her way to Killabin. I did not steal headstones. I left them there. You did it. A few minutes later, Delphine pulled into Knapford Station. Sir Topham Hatt was there. I would like you to collect 99 cars today, Delphine, said Sir Topham Hatt. It's a really long one, so be careful. Delphine was in the shunting yard, collecting 99 cars, and she backed up to them. And she puffed out of the yard with all 99 cars behind her. These cars must be delivered soon, Delphine said. The other engines like it when I pull wagons like this. Not all the items were toxic, but they still carried on down the tracks. Meanwhile, Bleemzik was speeding down the northeast corridor. It feels good to pull freight cars with poison in them. Just then, the Cape Cod Silver Beach was making its way to Hyannis. We must get there soon, said 135. We should, said 10607. Bleemzik passed the Amtrak at 108 miles an hour. She was going really fast. Faster, faster. Just then, Delphine was delivering her freight cars on a goods train, and the train was really long. But the whole train carried on. It was a really long one, but the freight cars clattered down the line. Meanwhile, Bleemzik was puffing backwards by pushing freight cars of hazardous materials. She sped over the crossing, and she steamed faster and faster. Faster! Faster! Yelled the freight cars. Go fast! And they were being cheeky, and then they bashed their buffers. And Delphine was on the same line, and she saw a petrifying sight coming towards her. Her driver applied the emergency brakes. Brakes as hard as she could, but there was no time to prevent a collision from happening. When everything stopped, the tugboat came along with the policeman and his cop car. He also brought Sir Topham Hatt. He was not happy. And neither was Delphine. Sir Topham had stern words. "I am not happy with you at all," Sir Topham had said. "You have stolen headstones from the graveyard, and you lied to your driver! You have caused confusion and delay!" Sir Topham, I'm sorry, sir," said Bleemzik. "I didn't mean to derail right here. It was a mistake. Son, I stole headstones." "I'm glad you told the truth," said Sir Topham Hatt. "But when you are repaired and you get out of railroad jail, you will be really useful by helping the other engines when they're in trouble." "Thank you, sir. I'm glad I told the truth," she said. "I'm not evil," said Delphine. "I just ran off the line and slammed into the freight car." "You're going to jail, evil bomber," said the policeman. "And you're being put in a big timeout forever." Luckily, no one was hurt, but a whole bunch of freight cars came off the line. Meanwhile, Toby was delivering a freight car filled with crates, filled with cake. "Evil Bomber was thrown in jail for a big-time timeout," Toby said crossly. He was not a friendly person. Bomber is very cross. "Bust my buffers," huffed James. "You never say bomb in an airport." "No, James, you do not. Bomber is in a big timeout. Big-time timeout," Toby said. He was cross. "They should name a train called Bomber," said Delphine. "'Cause you can't ever say bomb in an airport, 'cause that would be the terminus for Bomber the locomotive." "Don't you ever say her name in this yard," snorted James. "She's a bad, evil engine." And she pushed over all the headstones. "Ha ha ha!" Delphine started laughing about it. The troublesome trucks laughed too. They were feeling pleased with themselves. James and Toby were super cross. James roared. "Don't laugh! It's not funny!" roared James. "No, James, it is not!" roared Delphine. And she gave the freight cars an extra mighty shunt. And they rolled right into the buffers and off the line. When the train wreck was cleaned up, the line was reopened, and the trains were working on the Northeast Corridor as much as they can while they do their jobs for the hard work they do in North America. And another lesson learned is that you should never ever laugh about things that aren't funny, especially about a bad person.